Welcome back to Bourbon Battles. I'm Joe.
I'm Chad.
Hey, today's Tuesday, so what do we do on Tuesdays? We do classic battles.
We do.
If you don't know what a classic battle is, spend the weekend, next weekend,
Binge watch
Bourbon Battles. So what we do is we take two whiskeys, viewer suggestions, mostly Patreon suggestions, and stay tuned to learn a little more about Patreon. And we put them in, we drink a blind, right? Which is what we're getting ready to do right now. And today, what do we got? What do you got? What
Old Granddad bonded, 100 proof.
Find that anywhere, right?
Almost anywhere, yes.
Against Remus Repeal number 5, which makes this...
Which you can't find anywhere.
A Unicorn Killer series. You think the Unicorn will prevail or the Challenger? There's only one way to find out, right?
Gotta watch.
Stay tuned.
See you guys.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, folks, you know what we're drinking. We're about ready to find out for ourselves. Hey, do you want to read the trivia question while I grab one of these?
Does anybody know what is Basil Hayden's real first name?
We'll reveal that later. Leave that up here so we don't forget. So we went into the bucket, basket,
the drawer,
whatever. We're going to reach into here and we're going to drink them blind. Tell everybody why we're drinking blind while I'm getting them out.
Well, you know, I keep hearing this about drinking them blind. And I don't really know why. I search it on the interwebs.
Did you Google it?
I did.
Oh, it surely came up, didn't it?
It didn't. It did come up with two guys that look like, remember the Bushwhackers?
That right there?
And that's what it came up with. That's all it did, though. It just came with an image, a Google image.
It's because we're the whiskey tasting tag team champions, not intercontinental heavyweight.
Well, I understand that, but it still didn't say anything about why a guy would drink them blind.
We drink them blind because we don't give a rat's ass what's on the label. We just like good whiskey. You like bad whiskey?
Sometimes.
Hopefully this is good whiskey. I'm sure it is. So we're going to get into these. Like I say, you know what we're drinking, but you don't know what order we're drinking them in. Leave us a comment what you think the answer to Chad's trivia question is.
Well, if we're going to tell them at the end of the episode, there's going to be a little...
Yeah, but it sounds good. Hey, while we start to get into these, we're going to take a pause here. But while we take a pause, make sure you go see us on all of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikToks. Did I leave anything out?
Snapchats.
Patreon. No Snapchats. That's dumb. Go to www.patreon.com/bourbonbattles and find us there. For about the price of a cup of coffee, you can join this great community that we're building. Facebook page is coming very, very soon for Patreon.
Did you know there's a place real close to us where you can go buy a bottle of Stag Junior for $280?
So we'll be right back with you, folks. Hey, we're back with you now. Chad and I have had a chance to drink on these a little bit and start to come up with some ideas, but we have not collaborated on what we think is going on here. Number 2, I do think, is a peanutty flavor. And as I say that, right, we don't really give tasting notes unless it's very prevalent. But Chad likes to make fun of me because I get peanuts and Jim Beam and Heaven Hill products. And this is probably neither one of those. And I'm going to look like a dipshit.
I hope.
They're both good. Not really. I'm ready. You ready? Ready? I say one of these is a little better. Chad and I have been the same in a long time, so I'm guessing we're going to be different again. You still mulling it over? I was mulling it over. You must be milling it over.
Okay.
What do you say? I say a little better.
I say better but close.
So you're almost a tie.
I am.
On 3?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Oh, we're the same.
I'll tell you why I said that. If you want me to.
Yeah, of course.
So this one tastes very similar to this one without water. When I put water in them, I thought this one was significantly better. Now, I wouldn't normally drink them with water necessarily, but my thought is if I'm drinking it in an old-fashioned, if I'm drinking it with some lemon lime soda, if I'm cutting the grass and I got it in a big glass of something with something.
Speaking of cutting the grass, you ever put this in a soda? This stuff is fantastic.
I've never drank that.
It's awesome.
I wouldn't dare.
You would if you tried it. If I tricked you into drinking it, you'd change your life.
Maybe that's what this is.
I hope. I hope you picked Jim Beam Vanilla. So this is what we picked. We'll put that right there. And while I'm opening this, you tell everybody the answer to our trivia question.
So the trivia question was, what is Basil Hayden's real first name? Let's go with it. It's Meredith Basil Hayden Jr.
How's that for trivia?
So there must have been a Meredith Hayden Sr.
Yeah. So I even said it on, I think when we were recording this, I got the peanuts in number 2, so it should be Jim Beam or Heaven Hill, right? So let's reveal number 2.
Go ahead.
Number 2 is Old Granddad Bonded 100 proof.
So Jim Beam.
Jimmy Beam, 100 proof, 4 years old, 63% corn, 27 rye, 10 malted barley, created by Raymond B. Hayden, named after his grandfather, Basil Hayden. We did not pick the trivia question because of this. It was randomly drawn out of the trivia envelope. This was randomly drawn out of the thing. So just kind of ironic. It works. Sometimes it just works out that way. This has been in the production since the 1800s.
Same mash bill?
Yeah, exact same.
I'll be damned.
So let's see what we did pick.
We both picked the same one.
You like this Old Granddad, especially at 114 proof. Oh shit!
It's the first time This is the first time I've ever had it.
As you already know, we've probably stated this. This is a unicorn killer episode.
Why? We picked this one. That's not a damn unicorn.
But this is a unicorn killer episode. The unicorn won. But you said it was
very close.
Very close. So let me grab this while you give the lowdown.
So we picked Remus Repeal Reserve 5.
This is the one everybody's looking for.
This is the first time that I've ever tasted this. It's MGP or Ross and Squibb or however you want to call it. It's from Indiana. It's 100 proof, so it's right comparable with that. It's a high rye mash bill, so it's right comparable with that. And this is MGP's or Ross and Squibb's premium release. The V or the 5 is likely the most sought after of all of them.
They're up to 6 now.
This is the first time I've ever tasted this, I think.
Any of the expressions?
Well,
the repeals.
The repeals, yes, I think so. I've tasted the Remus.
Repeal Reserve.
Yeah.
You've had the...
But like I'm going to say, I don't know what this costs. I'm sure it's really expensive. I know what this costs, and it's not really expensive. They were both really close. And if I was standing in a storefront and I could pay the money for this or pay the money for this, I'd pay the money for this.
You might find this hard to believe, but this sucker here, the 5 especially, because the 6 is out now, so these are gone. Only what's left on secondary. $500 is what they're going for on the secondary market. That's why this is a unicorn killer. Yes, the unicorn prevailed today.
It did. Just barely.
But just barely. So the point to this is you run around, if you spend $500 on this and not $18
how many
on this.
cases of Jim Beam Bonded you can buy for $500?
All of them. Right. You can buy Alex over at Red
Old
Barrel
Granddad
out.
Bonded.
And then
Old Granddad Bonded for $500, you could buy a bunch.
I like this quite a bit more than I like higher proof. You do too, right? So I think you get more flavor out of this, and you can still buy 400 cases of it for the price of one of those secondary.
Yeah.
So,
guys, don't chase this. If you can buy this, put the money in your pocket and buy this, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, or a bottle of 114 or whatever.
If you catch one of these at retail, I'd say, hey, if that's your jam and you want to try one,
yeah,
by all means.
Like you said, there's none available at retail.
Or even the 6, right? I'm sure they're somewhat similar, right? I'd like to, hey, if you catch our mailbag series, maybe you would like to send us an email at bourbonbattlesblind@gmail.com right there. And if you got a 6, we'd like to feature you on an episode. We'd do that, wouldn't we?
Sure.
Why wouldn't you?
Right.
Got to. Hey, be a sipper. Don't be a flipper. Don't pay $500 for this. Don't sell it for $500. Take the stinking thing off. Like I got a new pocket knife for my brother-in-law today. You take that bad boy, you cut the label off, and you share it with your friends. That's where the value in bourbon is. Do you agree with that?
Well, just value in spirits in general.
Yeah, anything. Beer, wine, bourbon. So be a sipper, don't be a flipper, and don't be a bourbon butthole.
My wife wants royalties off that saying, by the way.
Which one?
Mm-hmm.
Did she come up with it?
Mm-hmm.
That way, Megan. So, most importantly, drink with your friends, but do it responsibly. Don't drink and drive.
Don't.
What do you think you ought to do?
If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl.